The pictures were smuggled out by a Syrian known only as Caesar. Caesar worked as a photographer for 2 years with the Syrian military police. His job was to document prisoners' deaths. Thousands of images showed emaciated and tortured Syrians killed by the regime at military facilities across the country. Now the rights group Human Rights Watch says it's identified some of the men, women and children. Human Rights Watch says it's been able to identify only 27 of the 6,700 individuals it believes were killed while in the custody of the regime. People like Abdullah Arslan al-Hariri, a 36-year-old laborer from Daraa province who became a prominent leader of the anti-regime protests and was arrested in 2012 and killed the following year. Then there is a 25-year-old engineering student, Rehab al-Alawi, who was arrested and killed in 2013 in Damascus, becoming the only woman to be identified so far. The youngest victim identified is 14-year-old Ahmed al-Musulmani, who fled to Lebanon when the war broke out in 2011, only to return back to Syria the following year to bury his mother, who died of natural causes. He was detained by members of the Syrian Air Force intelligence while traveling on the road between Damascus and Daraa. Data associated with his pictures reveals that Ahmed was killed in August 2012, the month of his arrest. While most of the victims identified were tortured, torture itself wasn't always the cause of death. Detainees suffered from severe diarrhea and other gastrointestinal infections. Skin infections were common and often led to death, and they also led to mental distress and victims refusing to eat and drink. No medication was provided to people for chronic diseases like hypertension, diabetes, and asthma. Some relatives of the deceased were handed death certificates years later, but none of those people interviewed by Human Rights Watch ever received the bodies of their loved ones. Ali Mustafa, TRT World.